Hi, my name is Julie and I'm representing Harbor Square Athletic Club, and I want to say welcome to those of you who are members at Peak, our sister clubs in Idaho and Montana. And I'm very happy that you can join me. Today we're going to do a very safe and simple stretching sequence, and the only thing you'll need is a piece of strap. So if you don't have a yoga strap, you could actually use a belt. I'm going to be using a piece of climbing rope today, and we're going to save that for just a little bit later. But we're going to start you in a seated position on your mat, and we're going to do a couple of really easy stretches to begin with. The first stretch, we begin in butterfly position. So I'm going to turn just a little bit so you can see where my feet are. I'm going to hold on to my shins and sit up really tall out of my hips. Now I know some of you are sort of self-critical about getting those legs in really close on this particular motion, but in our butterfly today, I just want you to have a big, nice triangle space. So heels not too close to the groin. Again, you're sitting up tall. Then I want you to very gently, as you open up your collarbones, you're going to lift your chin slowly, 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 and take a tip back with the head. Now your head is going to go back only as far as you're comfortable with it. So everybody's a little different here. And when you're ready to come forward, just do that slow head nod forward. Try to keep your shoulders down. Chin comes to chest. You keep that nice straight posture. You come right down here, chin to chest. And a couple more seconds, and then we'll lift the head, and we're gonna tip onto our right hip and stagger our legs. So I've got my right foot in front of my left, and my legs are staggered in kind of a zigzag shape. I've got all of my weight down into my right hip. With my right hand on the ground, my left hand goes to my right knee. I sit up really tall. I'm gonna look way back over my right shoulder, and I'm gonna feel that my left hip is completely off the floor as I look back over my right shoulder. Tight, tight, tight through my belly. This is gonna be a 10-second hold, and we're just about there. And then we transition to the other side. So let's flip it over and tip and sit up tall. This time you'll be able to see that hip. It's a right hip this time that's gonna come forward and off the ground. Right hand goes to left knee. Left hand goes somewhere back behind this left hip, so you can actually brace into the left hand as you spin and look. Some of you get enough rotation that you can look back and see that foot back there behind you. You might wiggle it a little bit, see if you can see it. All right, just a couple more seconds. And then we come back around slowly to the center. And once you're facing forward, I want you to grab onto your right knee. We're gonna round our back and go all the way down onto your back and pull that knee nice and close to the chest. So it's actually thigh bone coming close to the rib cage. And try to do this portion of the stretch without shrugging your shoulders. It's really easy to forget about shoulders needing to come down away from your ears. And again, about 10 to 15 seconds here. And then we're gonna take that left knee and thigh in your left hand, keep your belly tight as you rotate to the left, come all the way over to the left side and look at your right hand. So you can have thumb up here on your right hand or hand down. We do try to keep that right shoulder somewhat close to the earth. It won't be perfect, but holding that rotation, this is a deep spinal twist, so we wanna counteract the twist by really pulling in tightly through the core. Come back to center, slowly changing legs. We'll stretch the right leg out, pull the left leg in, hold around the knee, keep the shoulders down, and find our nice stretch thigh bone towards rib cage. Keep the opposite leg straight and think about maybe pressing the back side of that nice long leg into the floor. So back side of right leg into the floor. And then we're gonna use right hand to take left leg across our chest and over to the right. Head's gonna turn and look opposite, so you're looking towards the hand, palm down or up or thumb up, whatever's comfortable for your hand. We're thinking about keeping the shoulder down and core tight, and then we come back to center. Take both knees up towards you. We're going to be taking both knees to the left and looking to the right. So across we go with the knees, looking towards that right hand. So double stacking this time instead of single. more weight on this spinal twist, so really important again that you keep the core tight. Back to center, inhale, breath. Let's trade sides, exhale, stacking on the other side and looking opposite of your knees. Remember, you're counting at least 10 seconds, probably more like 15. By the time we get done here, core is tight. Shoulders are down as best as you can, looking the opposite direction of both of those knees, and then coming back to center. We're gonna place feet on the floor and arms down by your side and push up into a little bit of a hip bridge here. Hands clasped behind us and lifting hips. You may be one of those people who can roll up onto your tricep a little bit, and that allows you a little bit more lift of the hips, so you can see the difference between this and this. So if you can roll that way, try that for a few more seconds. We're really kind of exaggerating, just lifting those hip bones up and pushing into the feet to keep the hips high. Take an inhale breath here and release your hands, and then exhale yourself down to the ground. Come nice and slow, roll your spine down into the floor. And then I need you to reach for your strap. So once you've got that, we're coming into a very traditional hamstring stretch on the right leg. So remember, whatever you're using, just make sure it's non-stretchy. And we're holding on to a piece of your strap in each hand rather than like that in one hand. So each hand, and pulling back kind of gently. You're gonna figure out where you need to be. You might even be starting here, but our goal is to keep our legs straight. The other thing is not to hunch in the shoulders and do this kind of work. So if you have enough strap to keep your elbow on the ground on both sides, try that and come back into your stretch. It might also help you on your breathing. When you exhale, to pull a little bit closer to you, find that point of tension, and then inhale, you release a little, and exhale, pull. All right, now we're gonna take that right leg over to the left side. So now we do hold both pieces of the rope or the strap in your left hand, your right arm goes out to the side, and we're gonna cross it over. So we have this big outer thigh stretch on that left leg. Here it is. We're gonna try to get it to the floor. Some of you are gonna be up here, and that's fine. You go as far as you can. We're trying to keep the right arm down. Core is super tight. We hold. Now, if this is easy for you, I have a little bit of a challenge for you. Flex that right foot and push your heel out towards the wall over there. Push, 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 push. That's gonna get way more calf and up through the back of the leg a little bit deeper if that's you. So come back to center. We're gonna change hands. Both pieces of the strap now in the right hand. The left arm goes out to counterbalance, and we come to our inner thigh stretch for that right leg. So come all the way out, far as you can. One thing that might happen to you is if you rock and just lay that leg on the floor and you're a little lazy about it, you're gonna notice this whole hip complex has lifted. So we wanna back up to keep our hip bones level on the ground and then get into our stretch that way. So you might find that if you're really careful about keeping your hips level, this leg might not get to the floor. It might not get to the floor anyway. Now, we come back to center, and I want you to hold on to a piece of the strap in each hand. We're gonna do a calf stretch from the seated position. So we put a little bit of bend in the knee, lift the head, and you get to push into your strap. And we're gonna show you this from a profile position so you can see the stacking of the feet. As I sit up tall, I'm gonna encourage my top foot to come back. If your strap has kind of moved itself to the arch of your foot, you might want to reposition so right on the ball of the foot so you can really, do you see that? Really get that pull. Now, we don't get to sit this way. We need to sit up tall. If you can, bend your elbows, but try not to shrug your shoulders. So here's what we need to look like. Shoulders down, chin lifted, neutral spine, pull back on that foot. And you know what? You might be right here, and that might be enough for you. So do what you can. we're gonna switch legs now. So we go from the right to the left, and we are gonna carry this left leg back with us, nice and slow, into our basic hamstring stretch. This is where we feel the opposite leg with the back side of the leg pushing into the floor. We try to get our elbows to the ground. We might decide that we want to use our exhale breath to hold that stretch, and then maybe back off the tension a little bit. Try not to let the bottom leg buckle. It might want to do this. So we want to keep it nice and flat and long against the floor. Let's do 2 more of those stretches with an exhale breath. Pull, 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 pull. Find your point of tension. Try to keep your elbows down. And we'll do 1 more. Ready, inhale here and exhale to your point of tension. Draw that leg back. Simple hamstring stretch with a rope. Okay, so now let's hold on to the strap, both pieces of it in your right hand. We'll take the left arm out to the side and guide that leg across the body. This is where we give ourselves permission to let that left hip peel up because we want to get the leg as close to the floor as we can. Also want to try to look sideways, look away from the leg you're stretching. Look away, keep that left shoulder down as the left leg is over across your body on the other side. Tighten your stomach, bring it back to center, change hands. The opposite arm is out to counterbalance the stretch. This is where we think about that level hip leg. So do the best that you can, get the leg out there. Remember, you may be using a lot more strap than I do. So take your time, get into your stretch, keep your hips level, stay with your breath, nice long breathing through these. Holding, holding, holding. You should feel your shoulders nice and flat on the ground here. A few more seconds. And then we come back up to top. Holding the strap, a little bit of it in each hand, bending your knee, lifting your head, tightening your stomach. This is important. We're gonna rock forward and pop that heel onto the toe of the other shoe. Here's that nice straight spine, leaning forward, get that calf stretch. Maneuver your strap so you can use it to pull. There it is. Woo. Leaning forward, dropping shoulders. Once you get more tension, you're going to want to do this. So keep the shoulders down and back. Chin is up. Just a few more seconds. When we take this foot down, we're going to bend the other leg. So I'm bending my right leg into the inside of the left knee. I've got a figure 4 shape going on here. We're going to do a seated hamstring stretch. So again, kind of that same tall posture. You're going to think from crown of head to my tailbone, how am I doing with my neutral spine? It's almost as if someone's pulling you out of the crown of your head to pull you forward and upward rather than downward and rounding. So get the most of you can out of the seated hamstring stretch. Keep your shoulders down. And then when we come back up to our tall, neutral posture, we're going to hold both pieces of the strap in our right hand and do a seated twist to the left. So most of your job in the beginning of this is to tell yourself, am I seated up as tall as I possibly can? Because it's really easy to be lazy about this and end up looking like this. So if you feel like you're rounding your spine, sit up tall, engage your core, turn, 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 turn. Use these fingers back behind you to help you brace your twist. Try to keep this right knee open. Few more seconds here, everyone. Almost there, shoulders down, and inhale to release. Okay, let's switch feet. Right leg out, left leg bent, tall. Here's our figure 4 stretch. Seated hamstring is what we're talking about here. So we're going to bend at our elbows to pull us forward rather than doing this. Chin lifted, tailbone back. Maybe you creep up on that strap a little bit. Think of your tailbone pushing itself back behind you as you continue to lengthen. Maybe even think of setting your chin out on top of that big toe. Hold. Almost there. All right, recover to this tall sit. Hold your strap in your left hand, sit up super tall. Here we are, sitting up tall out of the base of our pelvis, placing our right hand back behind us, looking over that right shoulder. Here's the torso rotation, and the head is the last thing that we're adding to this piece. Looking back, looking back, looking back, tightening stomach even more. This is a big, big, big torso twist. All right, there's your release. I'm gonna turn over now onto my knees, and we're gonna show you the shot from my back side so you can see this giant sort of crescent shape leaning to my left. So I've got left knee, left hand is gonna be placed on the floor. I'm gonna reach out through this right leg and foot. You see how my heel comes off the floor? I'm pushing into my big toe. And I'm gonna reach my right arm over, 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 over. As I reach my right arm over, I'm gonna think about my right hip being pulled up like someone's got a fish hook through my hip and they're pulling me straight up. So up goes my hip, out goes my big toe, over goes my arm. My head might be looking up or forward or down if that's where you're more comfortable with your neck. You might even like to open up a little bit, ribcage opening toward the ceiling. You do what feels good to you. This is at least a 15-second hold. Then we come up with an inhale breath. Change legs, exhale, extend, arms out and over. Hand goes down. So start lifting this hip right now. Lift, 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 lift. Relax the head towards your right shoulder. Take the left arm over. Imagine your rib cage just opening up on this left side. Open, 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 open. Keep holding, keep reaching with the fingers of the left hand. Don't be lazy here. Reach, active through the left arm. Active reaching, active reaching. Almost there. Almost there. Okay. Here we come back up. Now, we're going to show you this next sequence from the profile view because we're coming into a kneeling hip flexor stretch. So it's hip flexor and quadricep. I'm going to step forward with my right leg first, and then my first job is to let my hips glide forward. So if you're here, or let me take it back a step. If you're here and you know we're going forward, you also know that we don't want to crunch the knee. So we're going to move the leg quite a bit forward, maybe more than you would think. And then we take the weight, the heavy weight here, press it forward, we're going to glide forward. We're trying to open up this left leg, so hip flexor complex. And you may find your balance here that you feel most steady with both hands on your knee, but you can create a little more stretch if you want to come out of that left side a little more. By lifting your left arm, you can even lift your head. And then when you come down, we're going to try to get hamstring on the left. So fingers need to come to the floor. And this is where it gets tricky because a lot of you are going to have trouble getting your fingers to the floor and getting this extension through the hip that I'm looking for. So if you feel like you need a little prop, sometimes you can have a chair. Sometimes, let's just put this here so you can see. You can have a stack of books. If you have a yoga block at home, you can use that. This makes it easier for me to extend forward without rounding my back like this. So here it is again, my chin's gonna set out over my big toe. I'm gonna push my tailbone back to get my kneeling hamstring stretched. And then I'm gonna bring my right hand to the inside of my right leg, pull this leg back around, and we'll try it on the other side. So come all the way up, step forward with left, both hands here, make sure we have that left foot forward, press forward, get the stretch in the front side of the right leg. Maybe we take the right arm up, big stretch in the hip flexor right side this time. Maybe you're looking up, maybe you're not. Maybe you're just holding here or here, but hips are forward. Now, tighten your stomach, draw your hips back, tilt your pelvis back as you lean forward. Think of your rib cage coming down towards that thigh.
Maybe your fingertips go to the floor, or maybe you're using a chair to prop yourself, or a book down here on the ground. Chin is forward, reaching out over the big toes of the left foot, nice and long through your spine. And then we pick up the left hand, bring it center, swing the left leg around. Come up onto your knees now, really tighten your belly, and either make a fist with your hand or take your hands flat. We're gonna go behind our pelvis, so not up into the low back, but down here against the sacrum and pelvis. Tighten your belly. Slowly use your arms to push your hips forward. Now remember, as you do this, you're contracting shoulder blades a little bit. Your head's gonna lean back if you can. Do nice and gentle spinal extension from our kneeling position. And then I'm gonna choose to step up on my dominant leg. That's usually where we have the most power. So my right leg's gonna go forward. I'm gonna flex my back foot and place my hands here. So I have a lot of power coming up onto my right leg. And then I'm gonna separate my feet a little wider than my mat. And it's actually wider not only than your mat, but wider than your own hip joint. So here's how we begin this next sequence. We're gonna fold arms on our back and keep our head nice and level. Inhale, breath, and exhale, lean forward. Now, I want you to stop at what feels like a 90-degree mark at your hip joint. So we're not going to be dropping any lower than that. We're going to stop right here and hold that rather purposefully with a very tight core. And we come up, and this time we're going to do a spinal extension from standing position. So same rule, you make a fist or a flat hand, retract your shoulder blades, keep your knees locked this time, push your hips forward and lean your head back and hold. Come up nice and slow. Keep the hands on the back side of the body and slide your arms down your legs. You notice we're gonna pass that 90-degree mark this time. We're going all the way down. And as low as you can go, I want you to relax the weight of your head, maybe even shake your head, yes. Make sure you're not holding tension in your neck. We've come all the way forward. We're just gonna hang with this for a little bit longer. Make sure you're pulling your belly tight. Your hands are somewhere on the back side of your legs. Still holding. A few more seconds. Relaxed head and neck. And to come up, make sure you're tightening your belly. We're gonna put a little bend in the knee. Can you slip your hands down right up to that thigh bone and push yourself up? Straighten your legs, bring your arms all the way over your head. Take an inhale breath. Tap your palms together. Exhale, bring your arms down and back. Clasp your hands together this time. Bend your knees. Keep bending. Start to lean forward. Drop the head. Pause here for just a second. We're gonna do a couple things now. First is lifting arms away from back, and I want you to see how that feels to you. See how much distance you can get between your hands and your hips. And if you're good with this, try to get your knees a little straighter. And you'll figure out where you need to be. You might want to stop right here. Maybe that's good enough for you. But play around with it. See what you can do. Find your position. We're going to hold for just a few more seconds. Then the hands are going to come down in front of us. So we've basically created a big triangle here with the hands at the peak of the triangle. Keep your belly tight. We're gonna lift the right arm first. So I'm gonna rotate open to my right and look up towards my right arm as best as I can. Keep holding, keep holding. And I am holding my head a little too high, so I'm gonna encourage you to just relax the weight of your head. That'll take away a lot of neck tension. Come back down to the center with an inhale breath. Slowly take that spin and that torso twist to the other side. Holding, holding, relaxing the weight of your head. Back down to center. Now bend your knees again and move your hands right back up to the thighs. We're gonna do a really easy cat-cow position. So we normally do our cat-cow from a kneeling position. This is a standing cat-cow. Shoulders down away from your ears. There's a little scoop in your spine. And when you're ready to do cat, we're gonna round the back, cat back position, tuck the tail under, round your shoulders, tuck your chin, look right up into your belly, and finish by rolling yourself all the way up. Then take a step together with your feet. So we're gonna come nice and close together, stand up tall, take your right arm behind you, keep it straight, take your left hand with your palm up and grab onto your forearm. Now, we're gonna use the left hand to pull the right arm towards the left and tip your head towards your left shoulder. This is creating stretch in the outside of the right neck. Outside of neck, on the right side. Back to center, slow release. Left hand slides back, right hand grabs left forearm, still standing up tall, pulling the left arm, tipping your head to the right, create that neck opening on the left side, left side, left side. All right, release your arms, shake out a little bit. Cross your left over your right. Squeeze your inner thigh together tightly. Bring your arms over your head. Take your right hand around your left wrist. Pull up nice and tall. Stand up tall. Keep squeezing inner thigh together tightly. We're gonna lean to the right. You see how the hips are shifting to the left. And lean to the right, and lean to the right, and lean to the right, and hold, hold, hold. A little bit longer. You might lose your balance like I just did. Ankles crossed, inner thighs squeezing, and right back up to the top. Inhale, breath. Changing sides, right over left. Grab onto right wrist with left hand. Pull the arm up a little bit. Squeeze inner thigh together. Tip to the left. Let the hips slide to the right, to the right, to the right. Get as much side bend as you can. Keep holding. Back up to center. Slowly let your arms come down. Bring your feet together. Clasp your hands back behind you. Roll the heads of your shoulders back. Point your index fingers down. Tighten your stomach and lean forward to 90 degrees. Come all the way up. Release your arms to the front. Clasp your hands together. Turn your hands inside out. Keep your knees straight, but round your upper back. Drop your chin towards your chest and push your arms away towards the wall in front of you. Stand up nice and tall. Keep that hand clasp. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Stand up tall, tighten your stomach. Your feet should be very, very close together. We're gonna bend elbows and take hands behind to cradle the head. Open elbows even more. Tighten your stomach, rock your hips forward, look up, little slight spinal extension, and forward. Release your arms, lower your arms to the side, stand up tall, relax the position of your feet. We're gonna take 3 really nice shoulder rolls backwards. The breathing is to inhale up and exhale back, and you've got one more. Here's our inhale and exhale, and you are all done. Thanks for joining me.